Over 3.5 million Texans have at least one disability, and over 1.3 million of those have a cognitive disability. Many of these individuals can live independently in the community with minimal supports. Many more will need intensive interventions to remain in the community. Texas has multiple ways to fund these supports through Medicaid and federal match funds, but they are not enough to support the nearly 200,000 individuals currently sitting on interest lists to receive services they desperately need. Support services in the state begin at birth with Early Childhood Intervention, or ECI. ECI is a federally funded program that is available to families with children from birth to age 3 that have developmental delays, disabilities, or a qualifying medical diagnosis. This also includes hearing or visual impairment. The Health and Human Services Department determines what qualifies. ECI provides speech, occupational, and physical therapy, as well as nutritional and behavioral interventions. No family is refused access to services due to their inability to pay. The program is required to complete a financial assessment and family cost share. Families who can afford to pay for services will do so on a sliding scale, which is based on a family size and income. Local IDD authorities, or LIDAs, are contracted with the state of Texas to be the front door for state-funded IDD services. The LIDA reviews medical diagnosis, school records, and psychological testing to ensure that there is documentation that the disability occurred before age 18 or 22, depending on the disability. The LIDA will also complete further testing if necessary to determine eligibility. Determination for services is based on two paths. 1. Either there is proof that the individual has an intellectual disability, meaning an IQ of 69 or below, which occurred before age 18, or 2. The individual has a developmental disability that occurs before the age of 22. A developmental delay has specific parameters determined by the state. Each of the 39 LIDAs receives a contracted amount of general revenue funding to provide services to support individuals remaining in their home. Each of the LIDAs may use these GR funds to provide behavioral support to include counseling, behavioral intervention, or at some LIDAs, even applied behavior analysis for autism treatment. The LIDA may pay for dehabilitation, which is a program for individuals who have aged out of school and want to continue working on their activities of daily living, building social skills, and doing activities in the community. Or the funds may support families with respite care or nursing services. It is important to note that not all general revenue funded services are available in all areas of the state. The LIDA also provide for crisis intervention services to individuals who are at risk of being removed from their current placement, or if the family is in crisis. After ECI and general revenue, the state funds services through either Medicaid managed care or Medicaid carve-out programs. The three programs under managed care are Community First Choice, Star Plus, and Medically Dependent Children's programs. Each one has specific eligibility requirements and service options. There are 5 Medicaid carve-out programs, meaning that services delivered in these programs are not included in state managed care organization contracts or paid by traditional Medicaid. They are Home and Community-Based Services, HCS, Texas Home Living Medicaid Waiver, Community Living and Support Services, Deaf, Blind, and Multiple Disabilities, and Youth Empowerment Services Waiver. There are over 158,000 people waiting for a waiver to be placed on the HCS or Texas Home Living interest list. Families must contact their LIDA and request to be added to the list. To be added to the Yes Waiver interest list, the parent or guardian must contact the local mental health authority. To be added to all other waivers, families must contact HHSC directly. Individuals wait sometimes up to 16 years to receive a waiver. The number of new offers or slots are determined every biennium as approved in the HHS budget. For the 2022 to 2023 biennium, HHSC allocated 1,549 slots across all IDD waivers. Otherwise, individuals may only enter the waiver program through attrition, meaning slots previously provided to individuals that are no longer receiving services due to permanent discharge. The state generally has 100 or less slots available per month due to attrition. These attrition slots are given to individuals in crisis transitioning or diverting from nursing facilities, aging out of child protective services, or moving from a state-supported living center. Each waiver program has different eligibility criteria. However, all individuals must qualify and receive Medicaid to enroll or participate in the waiver. Also, an individual may not be enrolled in two waiver programs. Texas Home Living is the only waiver that considers parental income for eligibility, whereas Home and Community-Based Services is the only waiver that provides for residential services. Community Living and Support Services, or CLAS, provides for specialized therapies that are not available in other waiver programs. The Deaf, Blind, and Multiple Disabilities, or DBMD, provides home and community-based services to individuals who are diagnosed or functions as a person with deafness, blindness, and an additional disability of IDD, or related conditions as a cost-effective alternative to placement in an institution, such as a nursing home or hospital. In spite of the appropriate level of possible services, very few providers are available because the reimbursement rate for services is so far below market rate, few companies or individuals who are qualified can afford to offer the services for the state rates. Youth Empowerment Services, or YES waiver, supports children ages 3 to 18 who have serious mental, emotional, and/or behavior difficulties. To qualify, the child must have a qualifying mental health diagnosis, be at risk of out-of-home placement, meet the criteria for psychiatric hospital placement, and be eligible for Medicaid. Comprehensive Rehabilitation Services supports individuals who have a traumatic brain or spinal cord injury. This waiver is funded through surcharges on felony and misdemeanor convictions, accruing over $10 million a year and supports an average of 450 individuals a year. This program also has a waitlist of up to a year for individuals to receive services. Intermediate care facilities for individuals with an intellectual disability, or ICF/IDD for short, are group home facilities. ICFs provide individuals the opportunity to live in the community as independently as possible, rather than being institutionalized in the state-supported living center or a nursing facility. The facility provides 24-hour residential services, and staff are scheduled around the clock to support and assist with daily living activities. Tragically, hundreds of thousands of individuals do not get the care they desperately need.